problem of what's occurred since the shooting incident.
Because I spoke with that young man who was with him, and he was very blunt. He said, you know what, we weren't doing anything, we were just walking, the cop stopped us, and then for no reason, in the end, the cop repeatedly shot and killed my friend.
Well, it's a tragedy, but it seems like a confrontation where, on a nightly basis with African Americans, particularly young African Americans, even myself as a younger man, and you can also see it in the polling. Well, when you look at sort of the confidence in certain institutions and look at the confidence in the police institution, the police department, you know, there's a better than 12-point spread between whites and blacks, where the majority of African Americans have very little confidence in the police department, and these sorts of things continue to happen. And look, I think whether side you fall on it, I think Congressman Cleaver was right, and Congressman Marshall Flood from the CBC, chair of the CBC, you know, made a statement today that, look, what we saw in Ferguson is not who we are. I mean, what we see in Ferguson is not, does not sort of encompass our ideals. It looked more like Tierra Square from Egypt a couple of years ago than an American city, and none of us want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I just came back from the Middle East, and I saw those images the last few nights right in the heart of the United States of America. I said, is this really going on here? The police officer in question, he potentially could be facing homicide charges, right?
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, we have just the barest outline of the evidence so far. Think of all that we don't know. How many shots were fired? Where were the entry and exit wounds on Michael Brown's body? Have all the witnesses been canvassed? Are there any videos out there that we haven't seen yet? I mean, there's so much more to know, and it will be a lot more than just the officer's word against the witness's word. It will be all the evidence together, which will paint a picture one way or the other.
Well, I don't understand, Tom. It took about 4 days for that young eyewitness who was walking with Michael Brown to be questioned, to be interviewed by local law enforcement. It seems like a long time to wait to speak with someone who was right there.
It does, and I don't have the explanation to that, but it also took 5 days for the authorities in Missouri to come in front of the cameras and say, what's going on here? I think this incident, as bad as it was, the shooting itself, has been only made much worse by the complete mismanagement of the message and what's being done since the shooting. The police should have been out there every day this week saying, here's who's in charge of trying to bring peace back to the community. Here's who's conducting the homicide investigation on behalf of Missouri state law. Here's the FBI conducting a federal investigation to look into civil rights violations by that police officer. This is all ongoing, and you should have had, you know, we've had St. Louis County Police in charge